wanted to show you maybe that we're already on third base with a way to share forms. This is Greenhouse. It doesn't look like Greenhouse, but if you can see up here, it's greenhouse.lotus.com/turbo/open access login. This is kind of like a side door into Greenhouse, going directly to the forms area as opposed to going through the basic navigation. So I'm just going to log in real quick with my user ID and password. So once I'm in, I'm right now just on, think of it as kind of like the Forms Turbo area of Greenhouse. So you don't see any of the, Greenhouse other navigation. I'm just kind of like side dooring my way in here. And let's give it a second to come up. Okay, so once it comes up, notice there's kind of like a private area. So here's all the forms that I've built. And these are just kind of like my own personal forms. But there's also a public area. And what I did in the public area is I created a little folder called Tony's Form Catalog. And I'm just going to scroll down to Tony's Form Catalog. And in there, I basically, borrowed a couple of forms. And these forms were kind of demonstration forms, so you really can't go in and edit them. If you try to click on edit, it's going to give you an error message. Because these were kind of pre-built for a demonstration, but there's kind of a little bit of a workaround. So I'm just going to close this. And instead of doing that, I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to do view. And then I can actually go in and play with the form. And some of the forms are kind of like preloaded. So if you notice when I scroll down to the bottom here, oh, never mind. I can use the calendar picker and type in text and stuff like that, and I can just kind of work my way through the form. So this is an example of a patient history form. This is just error checking, saying, hey, you didn't fill it all in. Are you sure you want to go to the next page? And again, just the more content associated with that. So that's an example of the patient history form. Let me just close this, and I'm going to go, we'll look at the medical record, right? So we'll view this. And this is an example. If you notice this little icon right here, this will automatically kind of autofill the content into that form. So I just press the one button and it puts in my name and address and stuff like that. So again, just that, if I want to add another entry, it can now provide me a drop-down box. I can put in some supporting document information. But the idea is, people can actually kind of play with these forms that they've been built. Okay, now I'm just going to kill this and we'll go into the third form that's in here. So I'll just close this out. I'll close this. And the third one is the registration form. So I'll go in and I'll view that. And again, notice it's got kind of that autofill icon. So it'll pre-populate some of that information. And then it just has a navigation across the top. And again, we can continue to kind of autofill and page forward. And I just want to go to the last page just so you can kind of see how this one works. This one has what we call, click to sign. So it's got the built-in signature capability kind of integrated in with it. So I just kind of click on that. I'm going to go ahead and sign the document. I'm just going to make up a user ID and password, and I'll accept that. So it kind of walks you through what that process would be like. So the idea here is I just wanted to show you that there's kind of like already a place on the kind of turbo side of Greenhouse that allows you to already create forms and share the forms all in one place. And these were just some of the forms, and if you notice as I highlight over them, you can see them in the bottom left-hand corner, just kind of like a little preview page. But like I said, these are a little bit of a challenge because these were kind of built more for demonstration. But again, anybody can go in here and they can create a form. So to create a form, you essentially just click on the Create Form button, and now what you see along the left-hand side is the the components that allow you to do this. So the thing we might want to add is enter your name, right? So this is going to just be a field that we would add to the And I'm just going to build a simple form, and then we would add choices, right? So now, do you agree with the following? And I won't spend a lot of time typing, but either yes, you do agree, or no, you don't agree. And I'm just going to add some more choice properties down here. I'm going to display the number of columns as 2, and I'm going to go left to right versus top to bottom. I'll just say OK there. Okay, and that's my third question. Then we'll put in a date selector, and we'll just call that date. Save that. And again, I can add some of these other components, but I think you get the picture here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a submit button, and this would make the form live. So now I've just created a form, and I can share this form. So I'll save it. We'll just call it, Craig Demo, and save. And so now, people can create forms, they can share forms, they can, poach forms. It really doesn't matter. So if I go back into the library, we should see now a 4th form in there, along with the other 3 that I had. Okay, and there's Craig Demo. Now, what's different about this one is because I just built it, I can actually put it, I can, circulate the form. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to, send this out. So it would generate a link. And because we're IBMers, we can create forms that provide what we call anonymous access. So again, I could just send this URL to anyone. And because I can set it up as anonymous, I can just send this out and people can fill out the form and I can capture all their information. And then kind of the other component around forms is this ability to track. So once this gets kind of circulated, if people were to fill out the form, I can just click on this button here, and this would show me any completed forms. And I can see that, yeah, of course, there's no data yet. And then the last component there is the ability to kind of chart this information. So again, just some real quick ways of kind of leveraging this. If you give me 1 second, I'm just going to go back up here and I'll show you what one kind of a completed one looks like. Here's one that I did for Aramark. We did a survey. So if I click on this, I just want to make sure it's the right one. Yeah, I think this is it. So if we click on this, I just want to show you what the form looks like. And again, do they agree, disagree? So that's the form. And then if I go back over to the submissions, I can see how many forms. So I can see that 6 people filled out the form, and if I want, I can look at a PDF of that form. So if I click on that and open this PDF, I can see what they actually clicked on. So I'll double click on that PDF to open it and cancel that, and I can see the actual results, what they picked, what they didn't pick. So I can actually see the whole form, right? Even their comments and things like that. But the other thing that's pretty powerful about this, and again, I'm not trying to get too deep into the demo, but I can also generate a spreadsheet based on all the inputs. So this is a nice way to capture all the data in one view, right? So a lot of people use email to do this, right? They'll send out an email message and then manually capture all this stuff. What I did is I just created one form, sent the form to everybody, and captured all this information. So all of this is up and available and already built. So this might be a time saver for, quote, sharing forms or having a forms catalog. Okay, thanks.